We're the Shakti Vibe Tribe, and we're here on the scene. It's time to wake up the world. It is time to wake up indeed. The goddess has been gone for far too long. Please bring her back within your heart so she can come back strong. Make the intention right now to accept the energy and the frequency that I offer through my voice, through my passion, through my words, through my fucking vibration, because it is high. And if you are here, so is yours. One person awake is more powerful than a million asleep. You don't have to wake up very many people to take over the world. It is the shifting of the age. Do you understand? Why don't we really know anything before 2,000 years ago? Really, think about it. There's something called the Great Year. Because of the way that the Earth sits at that tilt, it moves 1 degree every 72 years. So it takes 2,100 years or thereabouts to move through one age. We have spent the last 2,100 years in the Piscean age. That is why the symbol of Jesus was the fish. He was the avatar that planted back into the 3D, into the darkness, because we were way down there. We were lower than we are now. Yeah, we were rocks and shit. We were rocks. We've been animals. We've been everything. Because if you are a forever, it probably gets pretty boring. Why not just go get lost and find your own way back every possible way you could? It's forever. I'm a real nerd. You never, ever really die. Period. And do you really think that something brought you out of eternity, okay? Brought you out of eternity and put you into a place that was carnal. And there's a deep teaching in the Bible. I can't remember where it's at right now, and they don't ever talk about it. It says, the carnal mind is not subject to the law of God. We were put here to realize what we're not. We're supposed to be wretched. We're supposed to be fucking anything we can. We're supposed to be using drugs, and we're supposed to be beating each other up and all those things. The only way to realize what you really are is to know what you're not. But it's not fun anymore down here, because we were supposed to be coming down here. This is like in a game, we're growing, where our souls are evolving. We come back in with the same groups over and over again to grow. But it was hijacked, you see. It was hijacked. Yeshua's story was hijacked by the Catholic Church. Period, point blank. Do you see that they took women out first, off top? And then they said, you can't use birth control. And then they send the missionaries everywhere, and now the Philippines looks like fucking Mexico. It's fucking so sad. So sad. They didn't get Thailand, though. Motherfucking Padma Sambhava wasn't having it. Tantric practice, to have a heart orgasm, to actually radiate the unconditional love of Mother, Father, God. The Trinity's not what they fucking tell you, bro. It's not Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. No, it's masculine, feminine, and child, okay? God is not a man. God is a light. God is actually darkness. God is silence. The sound of God is silence. Silence calibrates at a higher frequency than any sound. How is that possible? Because the sound of God is silence, where everything arises from. The very first thing was a word. The word. Not the word written down. The vibration. That is what we are. We're just frequencies. We're just frequencies. We see less than 1% of the light spectrum, you guys. Less than 1%. We don't see anything that's really happening. Everything that exists in a potential wave of light unless a consciousness perceives it. And we have all agreed upon everything's going to look the same, because we come down here to grow. We come down here to evolve. But we've been hoodwinked. We've been okey-doked. We've been got with the old 1-2. They have bamboozled us. How do 1% of the fucking population have 96% of the money? Because they know something that we don't, fam. They know something we don't. They work with energy. They respect the goddess. Do you see? There's a pine cone in the Catholic Church, in the Basilica, whatever it is. But there's also 1/4-inch thick gold on all of the walls. Do you think that Jesus Christ worried about gold? And as a matter of fact, if you only look at the Gospels and what Jesus actually said, I'm really starting to think Paul was a narcissist, okay? Because I've dealt with a lot of them, and he's just got that kind of vibe, because he was actually invited to come and sit with the actual disciples that actually knew Yeshua in the flesh. But he would not, they said, you're not teaching things right, Paul. You don't got it right. We forgive you. We love you. Come and learn from us. Come and let us teach you what he really taught. He said, take my yoga upon you, for it is light. That's the original translation. My yoga upon you, for it is light. My union. He was telling you, don't look at me. I'm just here showing you what you are. He came down here. The body don't mean shit, y'all. That's what he showed us. But you know what? With just a little bit of twist, whenever you're trying to take over the world, what would be a better way to make people feel guilty and ashamed and make them have to have penance and have to come to you and please forgive me. I'm sorry. Look at that man hanging up on that cross. Look what was done to him for you. You don't think that does something to us subconsciously? Do you really think that you're eternal, they say, absent from the body, you are with God, right? Why would you be brought out of eternity to be put down to a place for 70, 80, 100, whatever, however you in a carnal place? One of the deepest please watch William Donahue. Please, William Donahue's the channel. The Bible is a symbolic, mystical representation of the struggle with the carnal mind. The story of Jacob, the story of Yeshua, all of it is metaphor. Every fucking bit of it, bro. When he say it broke his hip, it disconnected him from the lower nature, from his carnal self. God is unconditional love. There is no way that something that is truly unconditional love, okay, is going to judge you for anything and then has to kill somebody else because that would mean you were being judged. Period. There is no judgment. You can't have, God is love, unconditional love. You cannot have unconditional love and have a judgment. Because once you put a judgment, that's a condition. You were not taken out of eternity and put into a place that it's built for, we're supposed to come down here and realize what we're not. The carnal mind is not subject to the law of God. It cannot be. That is the only judgment. What you judge other people with, that's why they say, once you judge someone else, that judgment is meted to you. Because you are judging yourself, basically. Because every single thing you see, from the photons that we can't see, the subatomic particles, to the fucking Statue of Liberty, everything is one energy. It's one thing. The particle wave experiment, if you really don't understand that, because it took me a long time to get what that means. Everything you see exists in a potential wave of light until a consciousness perceives it, and it, I don't know the word, forms into, there's a word for that, but it becomes what we've all agreed on it should be. There's really no world, you guys. There's really no you or me. It's one energy. We're all one. You weren't taken out of eternity and put down here for 70 or 80 years to be put into an eternity of hell. If God is love, where the fuck is hell at? I mean, if love is all there really is, and that's all there is, the love of God is the unconditional. That's what keeps us on the planet. That's what keeps us coming back and reincarnating. The magnetism of God. The unconditional love. The eros. I'm a junkie, you guys. I couldn't leave the hospital with my son. I've been abused since I was a very small child. I never thought I would amount to anything but an earthworm piece of shit. If you ever told me that I would realize my divinity and speak light, I would have told you are crazy. Please give me my dope and get the fuck out of my room. But I believe that shit. I believe that I was a wretched sinner. I had no fucking hope. But I went from dope fiend to hope fiend, bitches. It's time for you to realize that the 1% of people, they know what's going on, man. There is enough for everybody. There's no real borders. We're earthlings. We're human beings. There's no separation. You know that Children, babies, until they're like 2 or 3 years old, they don't even realize that they're separate from everything else because they still see the field. It's like they call it the Titanic phase. Like psychologists, people, they don't understand how does this baby not realize. It's because we make them separate. We individualize them. If we raise one generation of kids and before they're 7 years old in the West, especially, your higher heart closes up. That is your connection to everyone else. That is your group. That is what lets you know that you are everyone else and they are you. It closes up by the time you're 7 years old here. You can't even feel it after that. But once you start doing the tantric practices, once you have that heartgasm, I don't like heart orgasm, I like heartgasm or earthgasm. Those are good too. There's a dormant energy that lies within you. It is your Shakti. It is your Kundalini. It is your divine feminine. It is your sexual creation, life force energy. It is your prana. It's been dormant for so long because the goddess has been cut out. She was cut out of all of the religions. She was cut out of everything. The witches, the crusades, all those people that they killed and murdered and all that stuff, those were the people who would have been able to keep it going, who would have been able to tell us what's really going on. It's a wrap. Do you know how Christianity was spread around the planet? They would come to your village, they would pull out the chief, they would fucking disembowel him in front of you, or they'd pull his kid out, they put a gun to his head, and they'd say, this is how it is. Or what? No, it's exactly how it is. So give me all your feathers and all your crystals and all your shit, and Jesus saved you. He did save us, but not in the way that they say. He saved us by coming here and planting an energy within this 3D reality. He was the I am avatar of the Piscean age. And if it wouldn't have been planted when it was, then it wouldn't be able to bloom now. There would be no, we would have to go through cataclysm. Everyone would have to be wiped out and start over again. That's how it is. When it gets so far out of balance that it's not going to be able to be brought back, a cataclysm happens. The world goes underwater. It gets hit by a fucking meteor. Like, the whole world freezes. Like, because everything has to stay in balance. For every single beautiful, beautiful act that you see, there's something that is just as dark. I don't know if that really makes any sense, but just as beautiful as it is, it's just as gnarly, it's just as nasty, because it has to be like that for the balance. But you're an alchemist. You are a transmutational wizard. Do you understand? You take pain and suffering and attachment and abuse, and you transmute that back into the light. And the further that you have went into the darkness, the brighter your light is going to shine. It's time to shine. I came into this world basically under fire with some old man's finger in my diaper. My mom was one of the first residents in New Jack City. One of my first memories is my dad telling me, if you don't tell me what your mom did, I'm going to set your ass on fire. And he wasn't even my dad, bro. I had so many men in and out of my life, it was fucking ridiculous. My mom followed, hey, Seaman. I'm fucking military, where are you going? We're going with you. My mom used to take us onto the ship, so much to eat that they finally told her boyfriend that we couldn't come on there and eat anymore. I mean, I know they felt bad for us. I waited for the first of the month like a fiend because I didn't have any clean clothes for 2 or 3 weeks out of the month. I got to go to one restaurant. We got to go to a buffet, and then we would get ramen noodles. My mom would go get her hair done, her nails done, buy a bunch of dope, you know. She was sick. And I asked for her. I came here. She fulfilled a role in my life that I asked her to play, because without all that trauma and without all that fucking abuse, I never would have realized that I've got to love me. And I've got to love me so fucking much that I can't. The inner child that is in me, I've got to protect that. I've got to protect her. I would have set myself on fire to keep the people warm that I've loved. I've come home to people in my house. I've been punched in the face as hard as he could. But I saw him get smacked by a man in his house, and he didn't even raise a hand back, bro. But he punched me in my face as hard as he could. And he hits like a bitch. You know who you are, bro. You know who you are. I'll never sell out or anything like that because I asked for him too, but I've never been broken like that. I never ever thought that I would love somebody that much that it would be unconditional. I could come in and he'd be dick deep in a bitch and I didn't care. I loved him unconditionally and I did not love myself at all. But I had to have that experience to realize what unconditional love really was because I left my kids. I was sick and my mom drugged me and my sister through that. And I said, I'm not going to do that. But to a kid, what the fuck is worse? They don't know that you leaving them there and abandoning them is better than dragging them through motels and fucking people they're going to get molested by and beating on them and shit. My mom pulled out all my bangs when I was 11 years old. I had to go to Mardi Gras, look like a unicorn. Because the boy that I liked in school, he was 17 and she was 30-something. And I woke up the next morning and he was in her room. That's how things were. And my mom wanted something that was hers, period. And she beat the fuck out of you if you tried to protest, you know. And I do believe that my mom was tasked with the same thing I was, and I believe she was on the path for a little while and she got lost. My Nana as well. My mom was born and her mom was 13 years old. I'm pretty sure that my grandpa's my great-grandpa. I'm pretty sure my mom's dad is her grandfather. I mean, there's just little things, like one of my eyes are kind of different color. I mean, there's little things that are like, I mean, I am a high-ranked spiritual being. That's fucking so crazy for me to say. And I incarnate every once in a while to help raise the frequency and vibration of the planet. But I am born into some of the most tragic bloodlines. I know. Because once you heal the trauma within that line, you heal it all the way back into the earth. Because in the beginning, I mean, how many bloodlines could there really have been? There wasn't just two people. I hope y'all know that. Please don't believe the hype. We'd all be cross-eyed as fuck, okay? I mean, he even said, Cain and Abel, Cain killed Abel, and then Cain went and made a family with some other people. With who? There wasn't nobody else, right? I mean, just don't believe the hype. Open your heart chakra. Take a deep breath. Realize that your breath is your spirit. It is how spiritual essence manifests into physical matter, which matter is nothing but light vibrating so slowly that it looks like it's sitting still. You're a thought. God is a circle. You think you're a circle within that circle. But if you would just erase the line, you'd realize what's really going on. I'm so glad that you're here on this journey with me. This is going to be the comeback of a lifetime. Because if you'd ever told me on August the 20th, I mean, on July the 31st of 2021, that I would even know what a mudra or chakra was, I would have told you you're crazy. But on August the 1st of 2021, I had the only label that I can really put on it, because anything that's really, really profound, there's no words. But the closest thing that I can is a spontaneous Kundalini awakening. I laid on the ground and I was taken apart molecule by molecule. I could see the molecules in the trees. I was taken all the way apart. I went back to a time where there was nothing but a light and a roaring sound. And I said, "Where is Mia?" It was my daughter. And he said, "Mia is here. We are all here, for we are the light." And in that moment, I understand how everything happens at once. It's really hard to articulate, but I'm going to try. You look at a light bulb. Inside that light bulb, the light is on. All possibilities exist in that light bulb at that moment. As it shines out, as the rays come out. I don't know if you guys understand that. As the rays come out, it would seem like there's a time, but everything's really happening right now. Everything's already been done. Everything's already been worked out. We've walked down the same paths over and over and over again. You've come here so many times. You've come here so many times. You've been killed for speaking your truth. You've been hung. Your children have been killed. You've been burned at the stake. And a lot of us have like a deep wound from past lives where speaking our truth, you got killed. You were healing people with herbs and shit, and your ass was hanging on a tree. or you worship the goddess, or you were Wiccan, or you believe, man, I can walk by plants, you guys, I can feel their energy. They wonder why we quit talking to them. They wonder what is wrong with these people. They know that we are them and they are us. Go put your hands on a tree, man. Anytime you're feeling sort of wonky, just go put your hands on it. Take off your shoes. It's a really good idea. And I mean, think about this too. Okay, back in the days, like in the beginning 19, all the neighbors, everybody knew everybody. It was like community and stuff like that. What started happening? People started putting soles on their shoes. And by the 1960s, when you couldn't fucking hitchhike anymore, when shit really started going south, everybody had shoes on. Everybody. Because they're disconnected. Big Mama E, that's your mama. I'm Big Mama E's mouthpiece. I speak for the earth. You are the earth. It's like somebody just reached down and pulled up a piece of earth. That's you. And the ray of light from the sun that you are, you're just a ray of light. Animates the body, the physical vessel that you are in. Your body is a temple. It says the only temple built in silence with no human hands. What temple could that be? This is the only one. You are the temple of God. Do you understand? That's why he said, who are you? What are you? I am that I am. So when somebody asks you, what is God? Who is God? I am. It's like a cheat code. You are divinity embodied. And so is everything else. Everyone else. The trick is to not take a side, you guys. To see the tragedy and know that it is there for a great purpose. And that being right there, their true essence, what they really are, it never comes to harm. It never even realizes that it is here. I don't know the question, but Tantra is the answer. You are loved. You came here for this. It's time to get off the sidelines. It's time to speak your truth. It's time to quit letting these people tell you that you're a wretched sinner, that you caused that. No. That would be what a man, an egotistical man who's in their carnal mind, would have to have some type of sacrifice for loving you unconditionally. If you really think about it, it doesn't even make sense, you guys. A lot of people don't like that. He goes, oh, he died for you. I can't believe you're going to sit there and say that. What if he didn't, though? What if he came out here to show you that the body doesn't mean anything? And if you really look at the four Gospels, Jesus never said nothing about a plan of salvation. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am. I am. He said, ask anything in my name. That means from inside of I am. You understand that? Ask anything from inside my name. I am. Claim it over yourself every time you get a fucking chance, man. You're more than you ever thought. You're limitless. You are the circle within the circle. Just erase the line. You're one with everything around you. There's nothing outside of you. There's nothing outside of God. We are one. Ra, Ra, Ra. Michael is here. Kisa, oke etemikes. Satawikes, okushir natai. Mituna tamike etatamikes. Oke nai tatakotai. I love you. I told you I'd be here. What's crazy is I really shouldn't be sitting here. I wonder if my mom would have. Because everybody comes down here with the mission to wake up. You know, everybody, your higher self is always looking for ways, but you get lost in it. You don't realize it's so real. It's so you think you are a physical being. You think you're getting old, you're getting fat, you're getting whatever. You think you're getting high, you think you're not. You're not getting any of them. None of that is even touching what you are. You cannot be corrupted. You're not wretched. You are God embodied in a meat suit. Meditate. Vibrate. Make your inner child smile every chance you get, man. Because that's what I really think that's what Ascension is all about, is actually going back and protecting your inner child, like it's all about your inner child. Because if you are making your inner child happy, if you're walking in, you're enjoying you're gonna look funny to people. I walked to the grocery store tomorrow. It's gonna be revolution. People look at me. I say I love you to people that I don't even know. I love you. You're a being. I love your being because you are me and I am you. I love all human beings. I don't like most of them, but I love everyone. Pedophiles, murderers, it does not matter. I love their being. God looks upon us the same way. He doesn't see anything but our light. We came down here to figure out what the fuck we're not. And the game was rigged at the fucking about 2100 years ago. It got rigged. You know what I'm saying? The Catholic Church knows what's going on. That's why they keep all of that. The Alexander fire, whatever. No, that was to get all the shit out the back. There's a pine cone. You have a pineal gland. They pump fluoride and aluminum into us. I can actually feel mine move, you guys. It's got little crystals on it. I astral travel sometimes. I see auras and beings. I mean, am I crazy? I mean, you think I would just all of a sudden one day start being schizophrenic? I mean, I think it would have started. I mean, especially with the trauma and abuse that I endured as a child, I'm sure it would have started back then. But it started on August the 1st of 2021. One more interesting fact, or 3 interesting facts. My name is Chanel Nicole Prescott. Please don't look me up. I'm a 2-time felon. I beat up a cop, kicked out his window. I've got about 17 or 18 assault charges that no one ever went to court and testified against me except for the policeman. Because if you're going to go to court and testify against me, you're going to get a real good ass whipping whenever I do get out, because that's just bullshit. If you get your ass whipped by somebody, take the ass whipping and move on. If they start kicking you in the face while you're down on the ground and go get a pipe, then you put them in jail. But if you get some hands put on you, you probably deserved it. If not, next time do better. But anyways, my name is Chanel Nicole Prescott. Chanel means warrior of God. Nicole means victory. Prescott means cottage of the priest. I've never been married. My name's never changed. People call me Sean because when I went on the street, my name's just I mean, I'm white. Chanel. Who do you know any white girl named Chanel? Probably not. And so I just started going by Sean. Now they said I'm going to be Shanti. I went from the warrior of God to the peace of God. Now that's just one. I was born in Lucedale, Mississippi. My whole family is from the Bayou, Bogalusa, Louisiana. Who dat? But I was born in Lucedale, Mississippi, which means city of light. I was born 33 days before they stopped delivering babies there. They haven't delivered a baby in that hospital since January 1st of 1980. I don't know why that's significant, but it is for some reason. And my full name, if you know anything about gematria, it resonates the same as Hermes Trismegistus. Now, 2005, I was standing on a corner in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. I was feeding my addiction. 6 o'clock in the morning, sad but true. I'm standing there with 2 other females in a little camper trailer, a little truck with a camper on it, pulls up across the street, and the dude looks dead at me, bro. He looked like a nerd. I mean, he was wearing like a safari shirt, and he looked dead at me. And he's like, yeah. So I walk over there, and man, I'm trying to get $20 out of this dude, and I feel like he's fucking wasting my time. He's like, I'll be back at 5:30 if you just go to my room and meditate with me. I'm like, man, he's some kind of kink freak, you know what I'm saying? But whatever. I guess if you come back and I'm just feeding him all the shit, I'm not gonna get kicked out my room, and I'm not even gonna get kicked out. I'm staying in somebody else's room. I'm saying anything I can to get what I need, and he doesn't give it to me. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I was back out there at 5:30 in the afternoon. Not because I was waiting on him, because I was trying to get more money. I didn't even remember him. He pulls back up. He takes me around the corner to a room. He tells me, and I sit on the couch and I go like this. I'm thinking somebody's about to jump out. He's about to tell me he wants to, whack one out while I'm meditating. I don't even know. But there's a lot of fucking sick shit that goes on. I don't want to say sick because that would be judgment. There's a lot of things that go on that I don't subscribe to, but I had to deal with because I wanted to be high. And I go to put my knees, and he's like, no. He's like, whenever you meditate, you have a field that goes like a donut. He said, you want it to be flowing. Whenever you cross your legs or your arms, it can't flow. I'm like, okay, whatever, you the guru. So he took me into a cave inside of the earth, you guys. I've never meditated before that, and I didn't meditate after that for 20 years. I meditate now daily. But I could actually feel, I actually remember putting my hands up like that, and I could feel the water running down the rock inside of the earth. That's the only thing I remember about the meditation. I know I went inside the earth, and I know I could feel the dampness. I could feel the coolness, and I felt so safe. And he took me back and dropped me off. 20 years later, about 6 months after whatever happened to me when I went into the cosmos, I'm on YouTube and I'm looking up meditations and things, and who the fuck comes across my screen? Drumvalel Melchizedek was the man who came and found me on that street. Whew. If he knew where I was then, he knows what the fuck I am now, and I don't know what I'm not doing yet. But they've been telling me to speak my truth for fucking a year, man, and I'm so scared of what people like. I used to walk up into a trap house with $10 worth of quarters, everybody in their arm with no regard for a junkie's life, and I was afraid as fuck, but I would fucking go in. And now I sit here and I'm scared of what y'all might think. I'm scared I'm going to be embarrassed or judged. I got to get to the point I don't give a fuck. Judge me, you're giving somebody else a break. Take my yoga upon you, for it is light. Take my yoga. Take my breath. Take my union. For I am, and so are you. He said, do you not know that ye are gods? What I do, you gonna smoke it. You gotta think, what happens whenever there's a billion Jesuses? Don't you know what I do? You're gonna do even more. That's what he meant. He said the kingdom will be spread out on the earth and you won't see it. Because you think you're separate from everybody else. Whenever you see a black person or a fat person or whatever it is that you judge is not right, you judge them. You can't see God whenever you're judging God. And you're basically saying that God fucked up something. God don't make no fucking mistakes. You're here for great purpose. Subscribe. Send me some good vibes, man. I was going to put this on Facebook, but I don't know, man. I got a little page over there called Shakti Vibes. I work with Kundalini. I like to move it. I'm a very sexual being. I work with the sexual energy. I'm here to radiate that out. I'm supposed to be in ecstatic states of bliss. Basically, having a perpetual orgasm, and that's going to heal people. I used to have to get booty butt naked, ass, face down, ass up. Now I'm just going to be able to go sit down in a room, turn on my waters with my clothes on. I'm going to be able to help couples. Man, it's beautiful. But the only way I would ever be able to work with that kind of energy and the high vibration that I'm going to be able to do it in is because I knew so far into the low side. It all starts to make sense. And remember, every single thing that you look back on and it seemed like it was just so fucked up or whatever, remember this word, seemingly. Because seemingly, it was messed up at the time. But if that wouldn't have happened just like it did, whatever's happening now couldn't happen. I love y'all so much. Shanti out.